Woke up locked and loaded, caffeine in my veins. Had a chills running wild like a storm in my brain. Both the singing thunder, plasma burns the air. On the mid-table grind, brother, pull up a chair. We ain't calling it champions, but we bring the clash. Where the dice still roll and the army slash. From the eye of the wall to the deep ice roll. Live on the stream and we're taking it all. Mid-table tactics, rolling bones with fate on fire. Mid-table tactics, living fast in the Emperor's ire. We're not gods, we're not scrubs, just tactical freaks. Average is achievable, grind every week. Dice are falling like artillery shells. Comment section screaming, that deep strike was hell. Rules lawyers look, but we laugh them away. Cause we play for the thrill, not the dirty payday. With palm trees and plastic blood pride. We paint like lemon, let our legions ride. I'm a custodes gold and my orcs agree. We're the best damn chaos you've ever seen. Mid-table tactics, where the dice gods watch and see. Mid-table tactics, punching chaos straight in the beard. We're the underdog prophets with a war-game soul. Average is achievable, that's how we roll. Blood for the chat, skulls for the stream. Victory is painted in a technicolor dream. Saviors or sinners, it's all just a game. But when the battle begins, you remember our name. Smash that light, drop that law. Battle saboteurs mop the floor.
Hey everyone, welcome to Battlefront Banter, where we talk all things 40k. Join us as we explore the latest army detachments, chat with tournament champions, and celebrate the hobby that brings us all together. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a stream. And remember to spread the word. And let's see if we can hit our new goal of 4,100 subs by the end of August, currently sitting at 4,051 subs and growing. I think it's been pretty tough, what do you call it, to get subs and stuff when Joe and Wargamers Live are sucking the entire 40k universe into the WTC. But hey, there might be a few of you out there that are not into the WTC at the moment. Okay, so today, me and Mike are going to talk about the Salamanders in the Firestorm Assault Force. Mike's going to play this list and detachment in the upcoming team challenge this weekend, August 9th and 10th. He's the first game up, game one, and he's playing against Aeldari, but we thought we'd just go over to detachment for because this is one of the things that we're trying to do with Battlefront Banter. So let's go on to the warnings because there might be some swearing. Before we begin, we just want to remind you that while we take Warhammer 40k seriously, we don't take ourselves seriously. So if you hear any foul language or questionable jokes, don't worry, it's all in good-natured fun, but viewer discretion is advised. And let's click mic on. Let's click this thing on. Let's get all the things going here. It's not as fluid as OBS, I will say.
Jesse's already giving me gears.
Who Jesse is?
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome, Mike. Mike's a member of Mid-Table Tactics. He's part of the stream team. He's on stream from time to time. We try to keep him away from the keyboard, though.
Yep.
And he's going to be, like I said in the intro, he is switched from the Golden Boys. He's on to the Green Boys as a switch up. So how do you like that change so far, Mike? You like him Salamanders, like Firestorm?
Yeah, I like the change up because I mean, I love Custodes, but it just plays like it's just a different style of play. Because Custodes are basically a melee army with a little bit of shooting, and with Salamanders, you got to use a lot of transports. You got to really be careful how far you want to push forward, because you do want to get close, but not that close, and you really got to try to use the board to your advantage. But they do have a lot of firepower right now, with the strats and Oath and everything being as strong as it is. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, the oath upgrade is legit. +1 the wound is lovely.
Yep.
Yeah, speaking of wanting to get close here, let's switch over here. Um, 12 inches is the magic number,
Yeah.
right? So you
Yes.
want a close range eradication. Ranged weapons equipped by Adeptus Astartes models from your army have the assault ability, and each time an attack made with such a weapon targets a unit within 12, add 1 to the strength characteristic of that attack. Particularly nice with things like meltas and stuff to get over the breakpoints. Um,
Yep.
how often does that come into play? Is that something that you're leaning on?
It's well, with the Knights drop, it's not as big, but there are a bunch of things in the game that are losing toughness as well. So with that, it's not as critical, but it is big. So for instance, like bolters just going to strength 5, a lot of weapons that are strength 5 going to strength 6, so wounding on 2s on T3 bodies, and anything that's sort of strength 6 going to strength 7, like the flamestorm, the flame cannons on the redeemers, being able to then wound you know T12 enemies on 5s, and then you can also then oath them to wound on 4s. So it's really, really strong in that regard. So, but you got to get close.
Yeah, it's a shame that doesn't work in close combat attacks. Only
Yeah,
the guns, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah. So, but no, it's very strong on heavily armored things, and then you really have to try to take advantage of Overwatch with Salamanders. They're a Marine army, so the more you can kill outside of your own turn is really strong. So
yeah, they want to get into the middle of the board and they want to threaten everything.
yeah.
Um, so let's go over some of their items that they got here, their enhancements. There's a couple in here that are pretty damn good. And then I'm not too sure about the other ones. I
Mhm.
that you've taken in your list is the Champion of Humanity. What is-
The very first thing I add to any list with Salamanders is they have one drawback. If they get tagged in combat, they're very hard to get out of combat, and so any melee units that you have in the detachment, you need to have a lieutenant, because he gives you the ability to fall back, shoot, and charge, and because the lieutenant is a tacticus marine, this is the best upgrade you can put on him. So basically you can take a unit of blade guard, throw a lieutenant in there, you can put Adrax in there, and now that brick is like the death brick, right? The Death Star brick. It's very, very strong. And then you think, oh, I'm just gonna, blade guards hit on 3s. I'm gonna, make them hit on 4s. No, no, nothing. You can't modify them in any way. So very, very strong.
Okay. So yeah, I believe you took that. Like we're gonna go over your list that you're taking later in the show, but
Yep.
Adeptus, what it got? War Tempered Artifice. You did not take this one. I've seen
No.
this one thrown on the Judicar though. Um, Add
Yep.
3 to the
That
strength
one.
of the bear's melee weapons, right?
Yeah, so this one gets tossed. I actually toss this on the lieutenant with a combi weapon every now and then. The problem with this is really there's only, this would sit really well on like a captain who, that you could have with like the first turn, or when he can go like Super Saiyan, you can add the extra attacks. He gets the devastating ability. This is really strong on him. It's just if you have an extra 25 points kicking around, but if you don't have, and the reason why you would choose this too on like the lieutenant with the combi weapon is it gets him over strength 6 if he has to deal with chaff. But the big thing is the other two, or the forged in battle and the other ones that you would take on some other characters, I think they have to be leading units. So this one's just good on a standalone guy. Yeah. So for this one, like
Yep,
forged in
you're right.
battle, you got to be leading a unit, and then it's really good. Like this is what I have on the Justiciar, so that I can also make his unit just that little bit more resilient. So
Yeah, I mean, it's basically your Eldar, right? You
yeah,
basically get to flip the 6, right? And it works on after making a hit roll, a saving roll for a model in that unit. Oh, so you can use it on anybody in the unit, not just the character who has it, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the last one I don't take too often. This one, but it is really strong on a Gravis captain, the Adamantium Mantle. Now, this one you don't have to be leading a squad, but when you take a Gravis captain and he gets detached from his aggressors, which happens all the time because aggressors are not very tanky, basically he halves damage, and then this also subtracts damage. So
That's right.
he could get shot in the face with something very powerful and have all the damage, minus it, and then or have it and then minus it. So it's very strong.
Correct. And then the little cute little thing at the bottom that pretty much everyone probably forgets is that if it's a Melta or a Torrent weapon, change the damage characteristic of that attack to 1 instead, right?
Yeah.
That does not work on the Melta
No.
number that's after that, because that's a separate thing. But instead of it being, if he rolls a D6, it's not, instead of it being D6 plus 4, it's just 1 plus 4, Melta 4.
Yeah. So then the interesting thing too, right, is if you also I would have to look at, I think the halving of the damage too is also on the characteristics. So yeah, if you're outside of, let's say you were getting shot with a thermal cannon but not within melter range, and they roll a 6 or whatever, yeah, you take that, you take it down to a 1, right? No big deal. And then also, like, if you were to get hit with like a damage 4 weapon, you would divide it in half and then minus 1, so you're still, it's still down to 1. Yeah. So
right. And then we got the stratagems.
Yep.
Armor
So
contempt, everybody knows, right?
Yeah. Very, very strong. When you can combine it, like, let's say you've got your Land Raider that you want to put in the middle of the field, and somebody brings everything to bear on them. You pop smoke and you armor contempt, and anything that's AP4 is down to AP2, and for that one activation with the armor of contempt, but still the smoke is making you -1 to hit, plus the cover and that. So armor contempt stacking with smoke and that is very, very, very strong.
Well, they did tone it down now, right? It only works from that unit that's targeting them. It doesn't last the entire phase anymore.
Yeah.
Crucible Battle using this at all?
I find this is very useful in the fight phase. So what ends up happening is you have 2 combat threats. You oath something on one side, and then you go after another one with another combat threat. You can get +1 to wound on both targets. So it can be really, really strong.
And works in close combat because it's just within 6, doesn't say just it says shooting and fight phase. So particularly good, say, on Blade Guard.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So you could send, especially also if you also have like aggressors. So if you sent the eradicators at one target that was oathed, and then you send Adrax and his Blade Guard unit and another target, well, you can make that basically the Blade Guards hit on 3s, but you can reroll 1s, and then in the combat phase you're rerolling all your wounds, and then you add 1 to the wound roll too. So now your Blade Guard have the +1 wound, your aggressors have full rerolls to hit plus full rerolls to wound, and then they have the +1 to wound, so you can crack two targets really, really well.
This is the cute one, right?
Yeah.
This is the cute one that doesn't get used very often.
No.
Right?
No, this is not super effective on I would say on aggressors, because usually aggressors die pretty easily. But if, let's say, you pop out your Blade Guard, you're standing on a center objective. Let's say you accidentally screw up, you miss your charge, right? So now you're stuck in the middle. They come up, they charge you. You have to wipe the unit that's hit you back, that's gone into you. But let's say you do wipe them back, then you can use this as a really sneaky move. Get back into your transport. Then you can then drive your Land Raider into their zone next turn, and then disembark and then charge again. So it's strong in helping correct things that have gone a little sideways. So
how often have you used it?
It's weird that I've used it probably 20% of my games, probably. It somehow comes up. It's a nice way to, even if like, so one of the things is, let's say it's not even in the middle of the field, like you just have something on your natural expansion, but you want to take that unit that's on your natural expansion and challenge somewhere else. You can just use this to get back in the Land Raider. They don't have to have fought, right? They just get back in at the end of the fight phase. Then your next turn, dump something on that objective and jam your Land Raider, at another target. So it does come up. It's not always for the center objective, but it can be nice to get some really good movement out of units. So,
and then we got our 2CP one, Immolation Protocols.
yeah, without a captain in the list, this one doesn't get used very often.
Yeah.
So there's two reasons why it doesn't get used very often. One, I don't have a captain in the list, and two, I don't have at the time, and I'm thinking of making some changes, but I don't have Vulcan Histan in the list at the moment. And Vulcan allows you to choose an army in your shooting phase, or sorry, choose a unit in your shooting phase and get full rerolls on Torrent and melt weapons. So if you're really trying to fish for wounds, then all of a sudden you have like a Redeemer, that's putting out, at the very minimum, it's putting out 8 shots up to 18 and full rerolls of wounds and just fishing for 6s. So with 2 damage each.
It's like I seen this one used more when you've got the Gravis Captain with
the aggressors,
the aggressors, yeah. But when you hit all those devastatings, it's really nice, especially if you have the ability to reroll.
Well, and the thing is like the aggressors are twin linked, and also there's no cap on this. Like you could get 15. Right. There's 15 devastating wounds. Here you go. Right. Like if it really goes off, it can go off really strongly.
So. Right. And then like I said, it's not very often you have 2 CP just lying around because you're burning through CP with Armor Contempt and rerolls and what have you. So it really is like, do you have the captain with the aggressors? And then because you might use this on a Redeemer, but 2 CP is kind of steep.
Yeah.
Okay. So Onslaught of Fire. What do we got here?
I could probably say that I've never used this. Actually, no. This is from your army disembarked transfer has not been selected. Yeah. So I could say I've never used this. So this is basically you take a transport, you move up, you drop guys out, and they have to shoot something within 12. And then you get +1 to the hit roll. The challenge with this is like you'd think, oh, okay, this is great on eradicators or something like that. The challenge is just the eradicators already, like you're going to be targeting vehicles, so you're getting full rerolls anyway. So it's just not that great. Yeah, you can battle shock something if you kill something, but it's very selective. I've never used it.
It's the 12 inches, right? Right?
Yeah.
Like it's just worse fire support from like getting out of a transport and getting it for free. And this costs you a CP.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's probably the worst stratagem that in this suite.
Yes.
And then
it is.
Our last one is Burning Vengeance.
So this one, I do not like this stratagem for 2 reasons. One, I always warn my opponents about this, and because it's a feel bad, right? So someone sets everything up, they come at you like they're going to destroy something, you don't warn them about it, they just shoot your they just plink something off of you with like a I'm just going to put my pistol into this because it's the closest thing, or something dumb, and then all of a sudden your guys get out and just eradicate a unit of theirs, right? So let's say it was like the aggressor block, right, that just comes out and flames something, or or eradicators, right? And so the thing is, it never comes up because I warn my opponents about it. And also, actually, I guess that's just the main reason. I don't know if there's 2 reasons. The other thing that I do like about this, and I do warn my opponents about it, is it allows you to get a free disembark outside of your turn. So you don't have to shoot, right? So you just come up, they shoot again, something small at your Redeemer or something, and you want to get those guys out a turn early, right? Get them out behind cover, they're now hidden. right? And then the next turn they can go another way, right? Or something like that. So it gives you a little bit of play that way. But again, like I said, I always warn my opponents about it because I don't want it to be a gotcha moment.
I guess you can get cute too, right? And get they shoot your transport, you get the unit out onto an objective,
Yep.
and now the OC that they had planned in their movement phase is now a problem, right? And I tried, like, when I play Firestorm, I tried to use this with the Plasma Bros,
Mhm.
and try to be cheeky, but it's just like, I think it's actually probably better just to use it to get out like a
Yep.
combat unit and just stand
Yep.
on an objective, right?
Yep. Yeah. And so the only time I've actually, funnily enough, I think I ever used that strat to actually shoot somebody back was I was playing Patrick and he like sent a group of Vanguard vets at a Redeemer like turn or it was like the repulsor in a turn, and he shot him with like a literally just a pistol, and I was like, okay, and all of them got out and shot his Vanguard vets and they all died. Right. And then my guys were all hidden behind a ruin. So because he had kind of come around the ruin to do it. So because he was using Stormlance, so he was gonna charge or not Stormlance, I think he was playing Gladius, but he was gonna charge afterwards, right? So it's kind of a weird stratagem that comes into play every now and then.
Do
So
all the weird mathematical situations happen to Patrick?
yes,
It's yes,
absolutely.
that is the actual answer to that question.
Yes. Yeah.
The wizard is the
Absolutely.
nicest guy in the world, but man, this game doesn't like him sometimes.
And he subjugates himself to playing Blood Bowl, which will just rip you in half too. So
Oh,
he does it to himself.
that's
Love you, Patrick.
yeah. Blood Bowl, man, anger management. All you have to do is pass. If you can get through Blood Bowl, I say, you get a free certificate saying that you are not an angry person. One whole league anyways. Um, Speaking of
Yep.
which, this is your list that you're currently running for the teams challenge. It looks like it's an all-comers list. It's not like something that you tailored for teams. I've seen you run list variants like this, so you weren't
Yep.
like going too skewy or anything like that. So obviously, Atarax, I think he's if you're playing Sally's, he's probably
Yes.
the reason why you're playing Sally's.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. No, Adrax. If you're playing Sally's, you need Adrax because he just gives you. Um, he's pretty awesome. So basically, his two abilities are. He has anything that he's in engagement range with, like the unit that he's in, and he basically halves the OC of any models. So if you think you're gonna like charge him and take away an objective, he halves your OC. Then the big thing though is just getting the full rerolls to wound in combat. So that's huge. It turns Blade Guard vets, because Blade Guard vets are only strength 5. It turns Blade Guard vets into a real threat. So that's really, really strong. So yeah, if you're playing Firestorm, he's sort of a must take. And then, like I said, the problem with Salamanders is they have no way of getting out of combat, right? So that leads me to, if you want to flip over to the lieutenant. So I put a lieutenant in with Adrax to lead my Blade Guard, and then I give him the Champions of Humanity enhancement, so that again that whole brick suffers no modifiers. You can't slow them down, you can't make them -1 to hit, can't make them -1 to wound, right? They can just do whatever they need to do, plus they have fallback, shoot, and charge. And then the lieutenant also gives them lethals, so if they go into something like a knight with strength 5 swords, you're getting lethals on 6s, and then you're also you can get +1 to wound, so now you're wounding on 5s, re-rolling all your wounds. So really, really strong. The Judiciar, I've been messing around with him. He is I wanted to try and run 2 Blade Guard vets squads for their points. They're very, very effective.
Yeah, 160
and
is pretty good.
yeah, for basically 18 wounds and the 4-up invuln. And so he just gives them fights first, and then he also, I believe, gives precision, so he can also help you.
He has precision, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. So if you're going into, like, for instance, like if you're going into like Necrons, and you want to precision out the character that gives them the 5-up feel no pain, or on the Wraith bricks, he can do that. So
You know what? What would make him an amazing piece if he had like the lieutenant role, which is
yeah.
like he could join a captain's unit.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
then I would probably put him in Adarak's unit
Oh yeah, yeah.
or another captain, and then he would become amazing. But yeah, he gives
Oh,
you fight burst, and he has the devastating wounds and precision. I
mm,
love him. He just don't see him very often anymore.
yeah. So
I think
so
you
one
can
of
make
the
an argument if you have the extra 25 points to put the +3 strength on, right? That would
yeah.
cross that would bring his, melee weapon from strength 7 to strength 10.
Yep, yep. No, that's one thing. The reason why I put the other enhancement on him was just to give that unit a little bit more durability. But yeah, either one could be used. But yeah, him with a captain would be absolutely amazing.
We can
And
dream.
then
We can dream.
yeah, yeah, and then the lieutenant with a combi weapon. He's literally just there to give me a couple things. One is a lone up body that I can run around and tag things with. The other thing too is he
He
grants an objective that you get reroll ones to wound on. So when you're flaming a lot of things, you kind of want to get those wound rerolls. And so he also works really well with aggressors, like just being able to tag an objective and say, hey, if you're going to come over here, it's going to be a little bit harder to take away. So
he's the one with the reactive move as well?
yes, yeah, he also has a reactive move, and he
Like
infiltrates.
yeah.
Yeah, and he has a
He's just a
5-up
good
feel no pain. So
yeah, he's just a good little piece actually.
yeah,
For his points, he's quite effective for 70 points.
yep.
And then like your one unit of intercessors here, sit on the home objective, boys, right?
Yes, yes. So my intercessors are great because they sticky objectives. So one of the things I like to do, depending on the list, is I'll sticky the objective and then I'll advance them and get them into a redeemer. Then the redeemer will just go off to my natural expansion, and then in turn 2 I can pop them out and they can sticky that objective, as long as depending if I'm screening for deep strikes and different things. So the other thing I like about the intercessors is they have like a double tap. So if they're all shooting the same unit, they can double tap their guns, and they have I think it's strength 4, AP 1 damage bolters. And then again, if you're within 12, they have assault. So you can get within 12. On the sergeant, I think I have a thunderhammer and a flame pistol. And yeah, so just all around like a good unit. They do die to a stiff breeze, but they're strong. So for what I want to use them for. And then
You got a guy with a thunder hammer in there too. Every
yeah,
now and then he might do something.
yeah, yeah. He's been a
Nope.
little hit or miss, but
Yeah.
otherwise he's been good. So,
Mm.
and then two. I just have 2 units of Blade Guard. So one with the Judiciary, the other one with Adrax, and the Lieutenant. So the only downside to the Blade Guard is they're only strength 5. If they were strength 6, that'd be a really, really good tipping point. But being strength 5, that's where with the Salamanders getting like 2 areas to get +1 to wound is really, really strong. So
I like Blade Guard. Blade Guard don't like me.
and then so I've been running Outriders since the beginning of the edition. If I was ever playing Salamanders, I've switched that up now. I'm trying these Invictor tactical warsuits. They are easily sometimes the MVP of my games, or they do absolutely nothing. It's hilarious. There's usually nothing in the middle. It's usually they are outstanding or they just don't do anything. I'll be right there.
They're like weaker redemptors, right?
No,
Oh,
sorry, one second.
come on, Ninja. We got it.
My daughter.
I know.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, it's all good. So sorry, what was the
No,
question?
they're weaker redemptors, right? In the sense that they don't have the defensive profile, but they hit a little harder.
Yeah, so they're weaker defensively, but for whatever reason, their fist is stronger than a Redemptor's fist. So strength 14, -2, flat 3 damage, still 5 attacks. But where their strengths are is they move 8 and they scout 8. So if you're playing on what's the board that has an 18-inch no man's like the
Oh,
circular
any of
no
the
man's zone? Yeah.
you're talking about search and destroy.
Search and destroy. You can literally scout 8 into the middle, move 8, charge something first turn, and just tie up units. They're 12 wounds. Their army rule, or sorry, their data sheet rule is kind of wonky. Basically, if you shoot a Phobos unit that's around them, it can shoot back. This one's equipped in the picture with autocannon. I have the flamer on it. So
Yeah,
it
I
is a
saw that.
strong flamer. The flamer is like strength 6 base, so it goes to strength 7, and it's D6 plus 3. So AP1, ignores cover. So that's strong. And then it has 4 different guns. So it has a heavy bolter, it has the iron hail auto, or the autocannon is what you swap out for the flamer, but it's also got the missiles on the top, and so it does put out quite a bit of shooting. But just the ability to get to like a natural expansion or pressure someone else's natural expansion, or even just jamming one down your throat turn 1, very, very strong. So
Okay.
yeah.
So let's go continuing the list. So you got 2. We're seeing a theme here, 2. Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
I like to duplicate.
another 2.
Yes.
I like
So
things in 2s.
So, yeah, double Land Redeemer, Land Raider Redeemers. I love what can I say, the Flamestorm cannon. I'm a little addicted to it.
It's a hell of
Overall
a drug.
great. It is a hell of a drug. It when you hit those box cards when you're trying to flame something, it's an amazing feeling. When you roll a 1 and a 3, it's kind of less so, but it still puts out a tremendous amount of damage. I've basically one shot a night with one of these in a game. So it
A big night?
super swingy. Yeah. Before
Wow.
the rule changes, because I was strength 7 and I used +1 to wound, and I had Vulcan doing full rerolls, and I think I wounded like, I don't know, 15 or 13 times. It was pretty crazy. So
You can fit a lot of people in there at 14, right?
you can. So usually, if I'm running aggressors, 6 aggressors go in there, or if I have the captain, they'll also go in there. If I'm running eradicators, I can put 3 eradicators in with the brick of Adrex. So it's really versatile. So just love these love this tank. Hard to get rid. It's super hard to get rid of. It's 16 wounds, T2 or T12, 2 up armor, and it has smoke. And the funny thing is, it can also drive forward and grenade you. It has the grenades keyword.
Okay, now I'm looking that up. It is a grenades keyword?
It has the grenades keyword.
Oh my god, that's so sick. It does have the grenades keyword.
So you can literally drive it 12 inches, grenade something, and then tank shock it. If you
the
have the CP.
sacrificial 80 points I had nothing else to spend on, Outrider Squad, to go run and do some actions?
Yeah, I forgot I had them in this list. They are great. They're super fast. They get bonuses on the charge now. So before, they used to auto advance 6, which was great because you could actually auto advance them 18. This is before the grenade change. Grenade something, still shoot it, right? And they're OC2 each, so they can steal objectives.
Yeah,
Or
OC6 is nice.
yeah, or they're just great move blockers. I was playing a game against Dark Eldar and Drukari, and basically he had brought the plane on, and so in the next turn I just moved them up. I measured out he had to move 20, and I just laid them in a chain and made it so he couldn't land. So now I killed the plane in shooting, but if I hadn't killed it, it would have nowhere to go. So it would have just flown off the board. So they're really cool for doing things like that. So right now they do get +1 strength and +1 damage on the charge.
Hey, it's the only thing that you didn't take 2 of.
Yes, yeah,
In-
yeah.
in a-
Other than the characters, yeah.
Predator Destructor. Really in vogue right now. A lot of people are running them.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I was playing Salamanders at an RTT last weekend, and instead of Destructors, I had Annihilators, and the only big difference is it just has another las cannon on the top of it, and I went with Destructors in this list because if I run into elite infantry, they're really strong at deleting elite infantry. But I did not mind even just running the Annihilators as well, because you get 3 las cannon shots out of them. And but this one, has the autocannon. So it is rapid fire too. So if you're within 24 inches, you're going to get in 6 shots, strength 9. Now you can get that up to strength 10 if you're within 12 inches. And then if it shoots an infantry model, you get AP2, not AP1. So
What do you call it?
yeah. So really strong.
I think isn't that's one of Jesse's favorite tech pieces in his Death Guard, right? He's running a lot of those. And you run with the sponsons with yours with double las cannon. You got the hunter killer missile, and then you throw the storm bolter on there because why not?
Exactly.
It's free. It's free.
Yep.
Remember when GW used to price things like all the upgrades? Now everything's just free. GW, what's going on? That just makes no sense.
Yeah, and then I have assassin to mess with your CP allocation there a little bit, or to just jump around and score, or hold an objective that I need to. She's super strong. I'm surprised.
Yep, loan up. Yep, she's good.
I'm truly surprised that she is not more points than she is when you consider the cost of the other assassins.
I know. I'm pretty sure she has pictures of James Workshop in a compromising position, and the deal is 100 points and only ever 100 points. So yeah, no. And that's your list. This is the list you're taking also for the team challenge. It's also a list that I would imagine that you'd run in an RTT. So what's the strength of your list there?
It's a great midboard holder. It basically bullies people off objectives. The nice thing about the Land Raiders is if I do lose one, I have 2. It's very hard. There's only a few armies that have the firepower to delete 2 Redeemers in one shooting phase, or like even in one turn. They're very strong against certain melee armies. I will say that world eaters, if they charge you, they just get tangled up in your tank. They can't kill the Land Raider, and then the next turn you just get to flame them. So really strong midboard, and that's where I want you to be, because I want you to be stepping in under 12. With 2 Land Raiders being in the middle, usually it's very hard to get out of Overwatch range. A lot of people try to sidestep your Land Raider to try to get around it, but with 2 of them, it's very difficult. Those war suits also just holding flanks or holding an objective is also very hard to remove. They're OC4, so between the bikes being able to come up and steal objectives, those other suits, moving 8 or scouting 8, moving 8, being OC4, it's also hard to shift them off objectives. So Salamanders just kind of want you to come to them, and then the clap back is they're going to flame you the next turn, and they're going to dump their guys out of their transports, and they're going to be right in your face. So that's what they like to do.
And the weakness.
The weakness is getting stuck in combat with cheap units, because if you can't, if you're always getting pinned, so like World Eaters, for instance, have spawn that are just broken. They can pin you in your own zone very, very easily, right?
Right.
And so if you get pinned in your own zone, it's hard for Salamanders to score. So that's the only real weakness to them, in my opinion, is you get move blocked, and you get kind of stuck. And then you have to deal with that for 1 or 2 turns or 3 turns, and then you're just behind on the scoreboard. And even though you're going to kill the other army, like you're going to do a lot of damage to them, and they're not going to have a lot left, you just won't be able to catch up on the score.
Is that what you're using your Overwatch for on your Redeemers a lot? Just to whittle down those cheap units, like 20 guardsmen with command squad for 23 models in there, right? And then like with Chaos Space Marines, whatever that cultist blob, right? With all the different wounds in his cult. I always forget the name of that guy. Shane likes to run it. I got PTSD when he was healing those things back. As a Demons player, I don't have too much to tar pit you with, other than a big fatty. But
well, your Nurglings are good because they can also infiltrate, so they can pin my scout. So like one of the things that with those Invictor suits, because they scout 8. Obviously, if you infiltrate 9 away from me, I can't really scout, right? So I can't push you back. So that's a bit of a challenge there. So you have to sort of play around that.
Yeah. Infiltrators. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So that's also why I bring I've been sort of trying out different things between the lieutenant and the assassin. Is, by placing the assassin sort of out front, I can prevent the infiltrate from pinning me down, and then I can then push out with my suits to sort of hold. Also, if I'm going first, I can hold the scouts from pinning me in, and then from there I can push, right? So
Well, you said the word going first. So is it do you prefer to go first, or is it go first or is it a go second army?
funnily enough, I love to go second, but I've had a lot of success going first. So, but if you go first, it's gas all the way, all the time, because you're hard to remove. And what you need to have is you need to get out there, establish yourself to build up a score. You will die over the course of a game, but you want to try to limit what they can score in the 5th turn. So you really want to get out there and hit hard and just be an annoyance for the first 3 or 4 turns and not allow them to catch up. So
Okay. Well, I think that we've covered your list pretty good. The basics of Firestorm with the Salamanders. We're gonna just gonna leave this up here for a little bit because that's the end of this segment. This next segment is more of what's going on in an advertisement for our um, going right up against WTC, so we don't expect too many live viewers, I would imagine, but we're gonna do the best we can. It just happened to be that's when people could play. We don't pay attention to WTC as much over on the West Coast, on sorry, on the Pacific Northwest, at least our group. August 9th and 10th, MTT versus Voidfire. They're a YouTube channel that's just started up. It's based in Mission, BC. They got like 15 people, so they got lots of variety of armies. Look them up on YouTube, give them a follow. They're just starting up. They're looking for subs. So the game will be you're playing Aeldari.
mhm. Yep.
You're playing against Warhost.
Yep.
Have you we're not going to go over his list because that's not what this one's about.
Yep.
But you got to feel you read it. How do you feel about that matchup, Mike?
I've got to control the engagements. His ability to turn off Overwatch is going to suck. So that I got to play
Yeah.
into and around. So I know he's going to shoot some, scorpions at, or what are they? The green guys, yes, shining scorpions or something.
No, isn't it Howling Banshees or is it?
No,
I'm not
it's
sure.
the other. They're green. I'm trying to remember what they're called. I think they're scorpions. They're gonna launch them at me because they get to infiltrate and scout really well. So
Gotcha.
they usually charge you sort of first turn to try and pin you. Um, those guys could be an issue. The Howling Banshees could be an issue because he's got 2 units with Jane Czar. So if he turns off Overwatch on that, that could be really problematic. And they're very good into infantry.
Yeah.
He does have a couple of big guns that can threaten my tanks, but it's yeah, it'll be an interesting game.
Yeah, I'm just
I think I
briefly
need to go
looking at
first.
it. Yeah. You
Yeah,
think you need to go first?
yeah,
What do you let's talk about that mission that you're gonna play him on. You guys got Mission N, Hidden Supplies, Crucible Battle Layout 8.
yeah.
I don't think this is bad for you.
No, because those that middle objective is gonna split, right? And then so there's gonna be 2 really close together. Over by my natural
Oh,
expansion. We'll have
yeah,
a
that's
second
right.
one,
You could put a
and
land you
so
probably get a Land Raider to tag both.
well, yeah, unfortunately, you can't hold both, but yeah, it can tag both. So it'll be key to holding that objective and trying to bully them off of theirs to score more. That'll be the key to the primary game is just having those 2 that are really close and then just being able to shoot off anything that steps out onto that one and that's close to his natural expansion.
So
So
there's gonna be 6 objectives on this one, and
yeah,
the game is, hold 1 like, your home doesn't really count in
no,
this one, right? So
no,
you wanna hold 1 for 5, you wanna hold 2 for 10, and then you wanna hold 2 and more than him
yep,
for 15.
yeah.
So, you got a plan?
I do. It like I said, I kind of went into it a little bit there where I've got to hold my 2 and just keep shooting off his that extra one on his side. So as long as I can do that, I'll be scoring 15s and he'll be scoring 5s. So
Man, I think those Predator destructors might come in handy. Look at that long lane right
oh
down the
yeah.
middle, connecting
Yep.
all 4 of those objectives. It's gonna be real tight. You got a little bit of a hiding spot in the U shape on your
Mhm.
on each of your naturals, but it's not gonna be that
No,
hard to
nothing
pop out
huge.
and take a look. Yeah, Lone
Yep.
Op will probably be pretty big here too. I'm not too sure if he has too many of those.
Uh,
Um,
no, I don't think so.
so what's your prediction? What's your score? Not like you know what I'm talking about. I mean, I had the wizard code so that the final score on the results will show the differential. Um,
I I I think he'll be able to score secondaries better than I can as long as I can hold that primary advantage. I think it's probably going to be, if I win this, it'll be a 13, I think, maybe.
so a 13-7 for you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if it all goes wrong, like
Oh,
you
it'll
don't get
probably be a 12-8 or a 12,
for him.
maybe a little bit more, maybe even like a 14-6.
So we're thinking so we got Jesse saying he's gonna get a 15-5. He thinks
Hmm.
over the depth card, and you're thinking 13-7.
Yeah.
So that would be too good. That would start to stack the lead. So we'll see because you're starting your game
Yeah.
1, Jesse's game 3.
Yeah.
So okay, well, we kind of went over that. I'll just do a little bit of ads here at the end here.
No problem.
If you guys watch if this is the first time catching us, we mostly do live stream games. Think tabletops live, but without the all the little cameras that move. I don't know how people play Warhammer over top of those side things scrolling in front of them. QR code on the screen for that terrain that you see on our stream. It's the Necron train. It's done by a local artist, Tomahawk Tabletop. QR code will link to the email. Just tell him the mid table sent you. I'm not too sure what he's currently charging. The last I heard, it was $250 Canadian. It's highly durable, highly recommended. We're gonna, if you guys buy it, it just helps us get more sets for um, our tournament series that we run. Um, we're playing Voidfire. Voidfire has a tournament November 8th and 9th. QR code on the screen. They're giving away a ticket to Wet Coast. And they have an early bird special on right now where instead of 75, it will be $70. And then we have our tournament series. This is the tournaments that we're running for basically, this is 1 year in advance. We have a tournament that's sold out, and for whatever reason, the waiting list will not move. So there's a bunch of people on that waiting list. But if you are on the waiting list and you don't get in, we do give you an early access code to join the next tournament. So, for example, if you didn't get into the August one that's coming up, you would get early advanced ability to buy the November 29th and 30th tournament. So it's a motivation to be on the list because they usually sell out in a week. There's only 40 people. Well, technically 42 if we open up the mysterious 21st table, or if Mike ever contacts a hall.
Oh, no, no, no. If the hall ever gets back to me.
Yeah,
So,
no, I know this like that hall is like they want you to go and like you
yeah.
have to forcibly be like, listen, it's like the Legion when we first started dealing with them, right? I'm sure if we get in with them, they'll see us, they'll like us, like the Legion was all
Yep.
susceptible to it all. And I'll just go over really quick over the team that's playing. Mike, Danny, Jesse, Darren, and Brent are playing for Team Mid Table against Team Sailor Moon, which is Ben, Sam, Lucas, Dustin, and Connor. Um, so it's gonna be I think gonna be a good time. It's gonna be interesting.
Yep.
It's not gonna be the same map and mission. It's a whole bunch of different maps and missions. But thanks for watching this one, guys. If you like this type of content and you want to see more of it, we've had the ability to do it. It's just, you know, the videos don't do as well as the games, and I totally get it. But
Yep.
if you like it, hit like, make sure you comment. It helps out the algorithm. Um, and I think that's it, man. I think we'll wrap it up.
Awesome.
So thanks for watching. Thanks, Mike, for coming on.
See you.